Hey there, folks. How we doing? It's Monday 26th, 9:31 a.m. 2016. 9:32. Two, understanding. Three, people coming together. Nine, elder, old information, serious information, whatever. Understanding the coming together of the elders. That's relative to all the new races coming here, as well as the ones already here. I've said that there's been folks here from other planets here a little over 11 million years ago. Again, for those new people coming in, it's all talked about in this book. Creation is beginning, and in its beginning in your origin, and then creation, its journey evolving into paradise. Paradise. That's a new word. It started a little over 11 million years ago when souls were coming here before there was a centralized form of life here. Once there's a centralized form of life, of evolution started and everything else on the planet, then loose souls are no longer allowed to go to the planet and actually make their own bodies with the planet, asking Gaia for permission, and Gaia takes care of that. Hold on just a second, please. All right, sorry. I make weird faces when I do energy work sometimes. No, I guess all the time. Anyway, so like everyone else, I get shown and told things all the time. I'm very involved with most all spirit, especially running around loose. And I just kept getting hammered with this thing from the internet. I mean, a part of it actually popped up my phone. I'm like, where the hell does this stuff come from? I don't know how to, use the internet on the phone and stuff like that. I can, access different stuff that I have to, but I mean, that's not one of them. And then I kept seeing it on YouTube when I'd go there to load up one of my videos. But it was really being shoved in my face, and for a reason. I saw it, I kept ignoring it, and I got told, look, and I'm like, screw you. And I get told, look, and I'm like, screw you. But it was nonstop, and I eventually realized it was important. I took the time to look at it, and I don't have free time. Anyway, all this time when I'm just relaxed and doing nothing. There's a real cool guy named Chris Turner that's putting out a movie. Don't mention the Reptilians. Chris is really cool. He's a seer. He's strong. He can see things. He's got good heart energy. He's got a lot of lime green coming from him. The lighter color lime green is it's like spiritual healing. Feels really good. It's about healing people's spirit, not the physical body. Physical body is really dark green, but healing the physical spirit, lime green. And that title is what he put together when he first started putting the movie together. Don't mention the Reptilians, because all he ever heard about was the nasty stuff. But he kept doing some research, and he got some good research from some people. That some of the people, they know what they had good information to put in. Let me put it like that. And he started finding out there's a lot of reptilians that are cool, that help us. I want to suggest to you, Chris, that if you talk with Paul Cherick, you can reach him through the spiritualfoundation.com, and then Stephen Lewandowski. You can again just go to the spiritualfoundation.com and send me a note about getting a hold of Steve. Just please give us your name, so you want to talk to him. Then I'll set you all up. He'll go look at them, tell you what they look like and everything else. Steve's really incredible. Paul, they come over to his house all the time. You're always welcome to call me, but it's so important that Chris is, again, Chris, sorry, going beside you, talking here. Folks, it's so important that Chris puts this together, that people understand that reptilians are different humanoid bodies, that some of them are good and some of them bad, but what I'm going to tell you, what I have told you, and I'm going to repeat again, they are whatever's put inside them. Their reptilian bodies are aggressive. Excuse me. A reptilian body is aggressive. If you put something in there that was negative, wants to hurt people, you got a problem. But most stuff is not like that. Most of the stuff has compassion. A lot of it has honor. Okay? Love. Very good positive things. Some of them hope. So these are the beings that are literally aggressive to help. I had a video I did about the Anunnaki ambassador. I think it's Anunnaki ambassador in my living room. I spell Anunnaki the way I know it: Annunaki. Annunaki. Anunnaki. I can remember being Anunnaki a few times, quite a few. Anyway, you get bakers that have good energy put in, positive energy put in there, and some aggressive, whether it's negative or positive, some that's really aggressive and abusive. It takes zero negativity for something to be aggressive or act negatively. But it's important what Chris is putting out here for folks to see this. And he's putting together a whole lot of people talking about it. So you feel what feels right and what doesn't. Okay? Just like I tell you, don't take anything for its face value. Nothing I say, nothing anyone else says. But if you relax, flow inside yourself, open up, and let things come to you, you're literally going to start finding your own truth. And if you use your abilities and let them flow while you're reaching out to look at someone, you're going to get the feeling, this is right, that's not right, he's incorrect about this, and get your own feelings, and then go from there. And if you were wrong, if you made a mistake, who cares? When you make the same mistake 3 and 4 times, then you got to stop and look at the situation and figure out what's going on, fix it, correct it, that's all. But making a mistake here and there, folks, that's called learning. It's a forward process. A lot of people, because they have abilities and they use them, and they find out they're wrong about something, and someone says, oh, you're not a psychic. You're nothing. Okay, a carpenter that hits his finger is not a carpenter. What is he? A motorcycle rider, a baker, a sailor? What is he? An artist that has an eraser? Oh my gosh. I think every artist has an eraser, so therefore there's really no such thing as an artist. That's the old thought process that was made to keep you inside that empty room that they try to build in your head, and they lock it up and throw away the key. But what you don't understand is all you got to do is go like this and the room's gone. You just have to engage yourself. there's things being done through the second dimension, the one right above ours, to take care of all this stuff. It's been going on for a long time, but that's not what I really want to talk about. I want to talk about how awesome it is that Chris is doing this, that there's so many people engaged in this, and how very important it is for everyone to understand reptilian is a basic name for a body that we have lives in. When you see one of these reptilians, remember the spirit inside there. I'll bet you've probably had a life with it as a sister, brother, parent, friend. In other bodies, maybe even reptilian bodies. It's part of us, folks. It's part of us. And they all screw up, make mistakes. One of my recent videos, I talked about, I almost said her name, one of my family members, her brother had this fear of Serpoians, the Greys, what we call the Greys. When they came to see him, to check his DNA and check on him, and just because he has an important role to play, just like her. So folks, our friends in space have done so much to help us. It's just that we've got the Earth, in many ways, has been, you can see it like a trash receptacle that leads right to it for a lot of crap that's come from outer space. It's a very simple thing. That's why we have a lot of issues with the stuff here. The stuff in space, folks, over 98% of what's out in space there, anywhere near us, is really cool. The space station, that's by Saturn and Jupiter. Steve didn't even realize he could go out there. I had to get a little mad with him, a little tough, give him some tough brother love, and take him out there. Told him to just go there, and then asked him to see what he's seeing. And then he went. He realized all of a sudden he was out there. I didn't take him. He went. He was floating right next to me. I did not wrap around him and take him out there. And then he's seen all the stuff I've seen, and then he saw something I hadn't seen. I had to go look at it, and I say, I'll be darned. There it is. Everyone has abilities, and they're going to come in. But the thing is, we need to understand that these folks coming in from space, they're family. Remember, they're different physical bodies with the same types of spirit inside. We're driving different vehicles, folks. Well, then why do these bodies look so different if we're the same? Well, I didn't say the bodies were the same. And some of the bodies look, in our perspective, in the way the common earthen human will look at another body, they say, wow, those things are really weird, really strange. Well, they're almost all older than we are, because the Earth is pretty young. Then when they look at us, we look somewhat strange to them, but they expect it. We don't know better yet, the majority of us. So we see them as some big crazy thing. So anyway, the funny thing is that when the Serpoians, when he was very young, a few times, there's like a little over 2, a little over 4, and then 7, they came to see him. And he was about 4 years, just over 4 years old. And then all of a sudden, when they showed up in his room physically to take some DNA and to run some tests on him, they weren't going to take him. They're just going to go right there. They waited till he was asleep, and then they went in there, but they did not put him asleep. They have little devices. The older ones look like a stick, and it's got like a little crystal or something on the end of it. It puts out energy that puts all living matter to sleep, or puts it in another state of mind that's very calm and relaxed. So they went in there, and the person that was supposed to do it didn't do it. He screwed up. He screwed up. They got there, and he forgot to do it, and he turned around in his sleep, looked at him, and goes, wow! He actually saw them. Folks, he was a little over 4. And the same thing almost happened when he was 7. So, anyway. That's rough on a child, okay? That will leave an imprint in your brain that is a solid memory. And so he's always had his fear of me. He didn't understand, and I told him about it when we were talking. And then, you know, when you do that, when you see what's bothering you and why, how, usually a little better than 90% of it goes away. So, and he's doing a lot better with that now. So I'll talk to him again soon and just check on him. But folks, they're people in different bodies. That's what I'm trying to get across. And it's so cool that Chris Turner is putting this out. It starts to open the mind. For the people he's talking to, forget who's right and wrong about everything. Use your abilities, use your heart to feel, use your gut to give you that yes or no, basic yes or no feeling. Use your pineal to see, use your scanner to see. Okay? Use your scanner to go see them physically, okay? And then use your pineal to see things multidimensionally. So the Anunnaki and the Serpoian that are here on the planet, I talk to them all the time. That are prisoners. Stephen Lewandowski is in constant contact with them too much. That's going to get taken care of soon. There have been many atrocities, not just against us folks, but on others of these beautiful beings that have been kept on this planet to work. And the Drachk are here right now. The Drachk are the original reptilian race. They're the original race, excuse me. The very first bodies made were by Lillian Era, and they were made out of the, they were physically made from the different energies within them. Human, animal, plant, fae, let's see, human, plant, animal, fae, planetary, you know, plant, I mean, just definitely some weird looking bodies. And then after they were totally butchered by the reptiles that were made on this planet, then they, for them to have a life, to have the first life of actual living spirit inside a body other than the energy of the planet. Then they made new bodies, and when they came down, they literally went into these things and ripped them apart like they were paper mache. That was the birth of the Drachk race. That's why they're so strong. And their DNA was created from the original Lillian Era, that at that time were the strongest, size for size, you know, you take a piece of it, the strongest spirit that existed, the strongest energy that existed anywhere in creation. That's why they're so strong. Now, let's go back to talking about something I just popped on real quick. Reptiles. The actual reptiles, the dinosaurs, excuse me, lizards, other type of reptiles and stuff on the planet, they don't have a dual spirit core. They don't have what people call a kundalini. They've just got the spirit from the planet in there. And alone by itself, it gets aggressive. It really wants to hold on to itself, and it's very prone to attack other stuff to maintain itself. So that opens up, cracks open little teeny doors, and I'm not going there. That's other stuff I've talked about, and that's a whole lot of information that doesn't, yes, I know that there's no time for. You get tired of being talked to with the lights on and off. It's like, you know, shut up sometimes, I want to say. Anyway, other times I'm happy to hear it, especially when Lily's saying something. Anyway, I'm just hoping that when Chris puts his movie out, that he just adds one thing to it, not telling him to do it. I'm just saying I really hope that this is what it happens. I hope he finds the importance of this is to just put a question mark at the end of what he said. I realize that's more copyrights and stuff. I understand copyrights. I'm an author, a couple different ways, but and I know there's more to it with the movie stuff. I don't know exactly what, but I realize there's more to it than that. But the title, you know, don't mention the reptilians, that immediately induces fear. And there are people, this information is for everyone, and there are people, the kind who this movie would affect the most, that are afraid, and they see that in the title, they probably won't even listen to it. Probably scare the hell out of them, and they're the ones that need to learn this the most. These are the ones that need to understand all this incredible information that Scott's putting together. I think, personally, I think it's awesome. What I know about creation, everything else in it, this is very, very, very important. This is crucial for there to be some kind of mass media understanding that there's more to reptilians than the fear that they've been used to produce. There's no devil, but it built a hell of a lot of cathedrals. It made religions go at each other in war. Let's go to another country and kill everyone that won't change gods. It's like, what? Do we live in a creation that is riddled with insanity? Yes. Anyway, Chris, thanks for doing this, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for what you're doing for everyone. Folks, there's so many wonderful people here doing so many wonderful things. It's time for us to come together as a family and to understand who we are and the real world that we're in. Not just the real physical world, which we got a lot to learn as a, society, as a form of civilization living on in the third dimension on this planet. There's a lot to learn about ourselves, what's around us, and why things are the way they are. But first, we have to be able to see, don't we? First, we have to become aware of what is. And then, with the proper information available, and it's built into you, you already have it. If you relax, you can start feeling and seeing things, waking up, and then find out more about it. But if you just remember that these other bodies that look different, they're from planets that are different. They don't have the same oxygen content, that they're different. The planets are made of different materials and different they have a different composition, and what's similar is in different percentages. So they need different bodies had to be made on that planet for there to be life on that planet, so that we could have lives on that planet just inside a different body. Folks, it's as simple as a tired old man in overalls. Well, I don't want to spend too much time on this. I just wanted to literally thank Chris Turner for what he's doing, and throw that out about what's going on with other people. When I say people, I'm talking about beings from other planets. They're people. There's so much for everyone to learn. And then wait till the phase start making bodies with their energy, and they get denser and denser, and you start seeing something form in front of you, and then it reaches out a funny looking hand. Hi, how you doing? And then you look at it, and then poof, it goes away again. There's so much coming. The series Star Trek, Gene Roddenberry, you don't think his head was filled up with good information? Yes, it was. It was given to him from people in those trip chairs. It was pounded into him, not pounded, infused into his brain from the other side. Okay, second dimension, by source energy. It was imperative that he did that, but other people were sent to him to give him little tidbits. And when people beam in and out, folks, when you transport somewhere, you beam on and off planet, you do not disintegrate and then get rebuilt. No, does not happen. Your whole body is covered with an energy field. It goes subdimensional and then shoots out straight across real hard, period. Seen it. Okay? Bingo. 3 times. Don't need to see it anymore. After one time it was cool. Second time it's really cool. Third time it's like, yeah, whatever. It's like taking a sip of coffee. If you, excuse me, just real quick. Say we're all in Alaska. Say you're in Alaska. Talk to you one-on-one. And we're standing on top of some ice. That's a river. and the river's still moving, but it's so cold that we have like this much ice. Drill a hole through the ice, and then we're gonna drill a hole through the ice, and then we're gonna take something that's semi buoyant, like an apple. An apple will float, but first it doesn't float. It's not extremely buoyant, so it'll sink and then slowly come up. As soon as it sinks down, as soon as you drop it in the hole, as soon as it gets below the ice and the current takes it, poof, it sinks down like this, and then poof, it takes off. That's what it's like. It goes subdimensional and moves. Man, there's so much stuff I could tell you about all that stuff, but that's not important. Not now. I just want to get this video out. Another thing, what the Anunnaki are like. That video I put out a couple times. I had to redo it recently because the other channel got lost and I didn't have it to put back on, so I just remade the same thing. It happened a couple of years ago. Whatever. I think I state that on the video. Yeah, I don't have that paper around me anymore. Anyway, the Anunnaki ambassador and one of his aides actually came here into the house, not beamed in physically. Folks, these things are 7, 8 or more 100 pounds. They don't do too good walking on. They're trying to walk up my stairs. Wouldn't happen. Boom, they go down. They'd be in a garage. But they do come in metaphysically. And when his aide came in, he, like it says in the video, I think it's Anunnaki ambassador in my living room or something like that. Anyway, the aide came in, and I looked at him, and we started talking a little bit, and then he goes in the kitchen, and then he came back out, and I was like, what the hell's he doing in the kitchen? Their equipment is really good, but when you go through the tar that we have in shingles, it's hard for them to get through it and get accurate readings. They could tell there's a pulsing energy, but is it a weapon? Is it a bomb? What is it? It was my refrigerator. But anyway, if you listen to that video, you're going to find out more about what's going on with them, who they are as people. They're people. The Anunnaki ambassador himself, very strong, very powerful, very serious. He has so much compassion. It's unreal. He's so concerned about his people that are locked up here in this planet. When the Anunnaki ambassador goes somewhere, you know it. The first time I met him, his ship was over my house, 150 feet. Herky jumped into Herky's corgi and pit bull. He's always been very strong. He and I are tired. Okay, it's getting near time to go. He's really old, and I ain't no spring chicken. And when this happened, I could feel something coming in, and then literally the walls, everything was vibrating. And it was nuts, and Herky came running upstairs and jumped on top of the bed, and he looked at me. I just went in the bedroom to relax and, get ready to just flow inside myself, open up and move around, and then all of a sudden, boom. Here it comes. I've been fighting, using my brain fighting, and actually hurt my brain. So they would come to take a look. But I got the chance to talk with them then. But they were here physically. Not physically in the house to touch him. They were right there. The power behind their ships is incredible. And when the ambassador goes somewhere, he's almost always with a small fleet of powerful ships loaded to the hilt. They come in peace, but they're ready for whatever you want to throw at them. Folks, love you. Chris, thanks again. I've said it 100 times probably. I will say it 100 times. Thank you for what you're doing. It's so important to everyone. And I know you'll have wonderful success with it, and that makes me happy. Folks, I love you, man. Take care. Have a good one. Remember, we're all family. We look different, so what? Different skin, scales, color, what we breathe. Doesn't matter. What's inside? The spirit, sentient energy. So, my 2 creation books, they'll tell you all about that stuff. Love you folks. Have a good one.